All right, let's talk about the Insane Bolt 2. Here's the components. You'll have a universal swivel belt, a 20-foot Slastix that stretches out to 60 feet, and you will have another swivel belt. Now, it is an option that one time you can actually replace this universal swivel belt with an X harness. So those are some options. You might even be able to get some with different resistance Slastix. Let me show you how you put these on really quick. First, we're going to start with the X harness here because I'm going to then drop and switch out to the universal swivel belt. The X harness, you'd actually put it on by putting two of the straps over your shoulder and make an X in the back. Now, the trailing runner would actually wear this, and I'll tell you why as an option. They will then take the Slastix and clip it to all four rings here at the same time. What this does is it allows the pull on the Slastix to come from the center of the chest. Some coaches believe that this pull should be more of the center of the chest than at the waist. I personally prefer a waist pull. So I'm going to now take this off, and we're going to do the primary movements with the universal belt. So here's the universal belt. To take the universal belt, I'll simply wrap it around myself and attach it together at the different waist sizes with this plastic clip, and then secure it in place, tighten it up. I don't want it super tight. I want to be able to allow this ring to swivel. As you see on this ring, there's actually an eyelet here that allows it to swivel 360 degrees around my body. If I leave this a little bit loose, then my belt will actually swivel around too if I need to. Now, in order to get the universal swivel belts to work with the Insane Bolt 2, you really need this product to use two people at the same time. So I'm going to invite Brock over here with me, and he's going to put on the other belt as we just talked about, where he wraps it around himself. He then clips the plastic buckles together, and then I'm going to secure this Slastix to the eyelet on the triangle ring. Now, to get this to work properly and to get full training out of this, we have to start with tension in the Slastix. So I'm going to have Brock go off in that direction, and I'm going to show you some of the drills that we do. So what we end up doing is the athlete starts. One of the traditional exercises you can do is when you start with both athletes stretching as far as possible they can by backing up, and both runners are facing the exact same direction. Now, when we do this, the elastic is pulling the trailing runner to give an assisted resistance, and the front runner is actually getting resistance pulling back, so he's kind of doing a power run, kind of like in a parachute. So I'd go back here. The trailing runner wants to do the coaching and say, on your mark, get set, go. When he says go, you both take off running with that assistance in your acceleration throughout your speed. If you're both running at the same time, you can have a longer experience with this over speed running. Now, you don't want to use a super heavy elastic, like a big monster one, because then you start losing form. So you want to get the right resistance for your athletes, so you get just enough to get them experience over speed training, which includes longer stride length and quicker feet turnover. Now, in addition to those speed kind of movements, you can do many other type of movements too, where I'm doing some defensive back movements, like coming up and catching the ball. Maybe I'm doing some quarterback moves. Doesn't matter. I've got all kinds of movement and play in my belt, and a long range of stretching that I can do for all kinds of athletic resistance and assisted movements. Unlike a parachute, that a parachute can kind of blow all around in the wind, giving you different movements and jostling, and also you can only go against the wind. With the Slastix, you can experience some of those same kind of resisted features in your training and running. It doesn't matter which wind direction you have, but you also get that over speed experience that most people only can experience by running down hills, which in true sport hardly ever happens. Most of the time you're on a flat ground. So the Insane Bolt 2 trains you for resistive running and also assisted running and also all kinds of movement and agility in almost any sport you play. Insane Bolt 2, got to get it.